Okay, so now students, you know that we have done this page. I'm re-revising this because yesterday I taught one of the students, but today let's do the revision for this one. What is force is a pull and a push. You know, different types of forces. The push force, the pull force, the gravitational force, and what other forces do you know?
Friction, air resistance, buoyancy,
Awesome,
etc.
very good. So there is all sorts of force, but you know that there is one force which is known as the contact force, which is due to if the contact forces are there, like for example, this pouch is kept on the table and it does not slip because the surface is not smooth enough for it to slip easily. Now if you put a marble ball, you know that surely it will slide off the book. So it contact forces are dependent on friction also. So you can say no, sometimes not one force is acting, there are many forces at the same time acting. Then there is the force that act at a distance, for example, keeping the planners together.
Yes, the
You know about
gravitational
that.
force.
The you know, if you leave two big ships very far away at the dock, you will see after some time they will slowly come, and after a week or two you will come to see that they have the outer bodies are touching each other. So that is also a contact force. So these are contact. Then there are three other that we read in this chapter: tension, compression, and bending. Tension is when you stretch something like an elastic or something. If you stretch it, there is a limit it will stretch, and after that it will lose that limit. While if you you know, in a piston, like for example in a syringe, when you're trying to pressurize a gas inside it, it gets pumped a little bit but not all the way, but still you can pressurize gas more easily because in the balloon, like in when you are filling up a balloon, it gets bigger and bigger in size. But if you want, if you push the gas down and make the balloon smaller, you can do that also by tying the knots up. Then there is the bending forces also. How much strength does a an object has to be able to bend? For example, if you look at this scale, it is straight, but if you keep on adding weight to it, can you please press it from here? See, if she applies a little pressure, nothing happens. But if she applies a lot of pressure, what will happen? It will start bending. So this is also a force. Okay. Then you also know that for what can forces do? What can forces do? It can start an object which is stopped. It can start it moving. Like for example, if I push this, it will start moving. It slides off the desk by itself. So that is a force, that is a starting force. Then it can make something move. Then the other force is when this is starting and I just push on one side, it was moving in one direction, now it has turned its direction and is sliding off in the other direction. This means that I can change the direction of a force by applying a force on an object which is already moving. So I can change the force in the same way, like a cricket bat. When you when somebody is bowling and you hit the ball is coming in one direction, and then you hit the ball, it changes its direction and goes in some other direction. Then there is what other thing can force do? It can stop something. Like for example, if a ball is coming, you can simply catch it and stop it there. Or you can, if you have a cycle or bike, you can apply the brakes and it can stop. Or something like if you are throwing balls to each other, or if you are just simply something is moving, you can come in between a person who is running, and that person will be crashing into you. Okay, that would be a small crash, but imagine when somebody is driving a car and gets bumps into a tree or something, then that is a completely different types of crash. The force is so much that it can do a lot of accidents. Okay, and then we find out that the measuring force is force meter. How do we measure force? We measure it with using the force meter, which is actually, you already know, this one is the spring balance. The spring balance has a spring in it.
It's a Newton meter, right?
Yes, it is a Newton meter, and it has got a spring. So when you are applying a force to it, it gets stretched to some a certain limit, and the pointer will point to the amount of weight that the object is
Force.
exerting on the spring. And this is no, and also the unit of force is then is Newton, while the measuring apparatus is the force meter. So this is a force meter, which is the spring balance, and the unit of the force is Newton. Then we come to the next part, that sometimes some objects, when you put them in water, it feels like, even if you go into the swimming pool, you feel as if your feet cannot touch the ground that easily as you normally do on land, because it feels as if something is lifting you up and you are no more as heavy as you were. That is due to the upthrust or buoyancy of the water, which is having some force which of itself, and which pushes you up, and that is always half of what your body. For example, here they have said a block of metal has a volume of 1000 centimeter cube and weighs 20 newton in air. When it is put into the water, the block displaces 1000 centimeter cube of water, which weighs 10 newton. The upthrust on the block is 10 newton, so the metal block will appear to weigh only 10 newton. Now if you assume this to be something like this, like for example, if you take a tub of water and you have got water in it, and in the water you put a block which is having a volume of 1 centimeter cube. If you have a 1 centimeter cube volume, that means its length, breadth and height all are equal to 1 centimeter cube. That means 1 times 1 times 1, and that should give you 1 centimeter cube. This block, when you put it into water, it will displace as much. The water level will rise because you have added something to it, to the water, and it will the amount of water that will rise will be the same as the size of the block or the volume it is occupying, so that when the block is now inside, it is taking up some place, and whatever the force was, if it was 10 newton, then it will be halved. Whatever the force will be, it is normally halved, so that the block, if it was feeling like you are holding a heavy thing, it will look like somebody has halved it. The weight has been removed, or the mass has been removed because of the upthrust. Like in the same way, I can say, if you were forced to hold this small toothpick box for a minute or two, no harm, isn't it? We can easily hold it for how long? We can easily hold it. It won't harm you. I will take. But if I tell you to hold it in your hand for a day, then it will start feeling heavy, right?
Yeah.
Think of it as, if you are now inside the swimming pool, it will you will not feel it as heavy for in one day. You will start feeling heavy in 2 days, because its weight has been reduced due to the water's upthrust. So that is important for you to know also. The weight, water always pushes things up. Now this is again the water is pushing by 10 Newton, and the if the water is pushing by 10 Newton and the weight of the block is 20 Newton, then it will be half. Do you know that 10 and 10 will cancel each other out, and only 10 the 10 Newton will make it go as deep as 10 Newton would allow that to happen, half that volume. Okay, so it is kind of balancing each other out. So that is why when you see the boat, sometimes the boat is floating but half of its body is inside the water, so that much about of the boat which is being upthrusted is kept out of the boat, out of the water, while which is heavier than that will be submerged in the water. So this is very important. Did you understand this? Okay, then if you have any question you may ask. Then we come to density. Density is also very important. Density is equal to mass upon volume. That is one. If you make a glass block, again I was telling you about 1 centimeter cube. If 1 centimeter, 1 centimeter and 1 centimeter is here, if this block is made of glass and you fill it up with water, because it is a specific volume, 1 times 1 times 1, that is 1 centimeter cube, it can only occupy 1 gram of water. It can only occupy 1 gram of water. That is how much the water takes up space, and that is why we say density of water is 1 gram in 1 centimeter cube.
Okay, so
And
it's
we
like
do not, because we do not mention the 1 in the denominator, so we can easily write down 1 gram per centimeter cube. That is how we measure. And for other objects also you can say density is equal to mass upon volume. You can say how much mass is there and one block how much volume is there of that one block of the same. Make this cube for gold, silver, metals,
the density.
wood, and you can easily find out their weight, their mass, sorry, not their weight, their mass, and put the value of mass over here, and the volume will remain the same, and you will know that which has a more density than water, and that will sink. If it has a less density than water, it will float. You must remember that. Okay. So now they are saying ships float higher in sea water than in fresh water. This is because the sea water is denser than fresh water. Why is it denser? Can you
Because
explain?
of this high salt content.
Yes, exactly. Because of the high salt content, the denser a liquid is, the greater the upthrust. Okay, the denser. That means that in the Dead Sea, what will happen?
The person will float because there's a lot of salt.
Exactly. Because the person is not going to sink. The density of the water is so much, because the
There's a lot
salt
of
content is so much that you
There's
can
a lot of
simply
upthrust.
lie down on the water surface and read your newspaper early in the
And float
morning.
away.
Yes, that happens. Okay, so I have given you the answer to these questions. You can go and tally them and see if you can understand them. Okay, now we come to the next part of the
I'm going to spell myself.
I will give you okay, now stretchy material. Forces can cause materials to stretch. Now just a moment, give me a moment, I'll show you something. Now if you look at this, what is this?
Elastic.
Elastic. Can you pull it from the other side? Okay, see, as she is pulling, you can see that the elastic is becoming thinner. Can you see that? Can you see that?
Yes.
Okay, release it a little bit more. It has become thicker. Can you see that?
Yes.
Yes. Why does that happen? This is known as elasticity. When you pull, this is known as elasticity. Okay.
That's tension.
Forces can cause materials to stretch when the forces are removed. So don't think that forces cannot stretch this.
We can.
If there is a hole over here and there's a hole over here and you attach this with a rope which is attached to an elephant and another attached to this side and another elephant and make them move in another direction, this will get stretched.
But it has less
But
elasticity level.
yes, its level of elasticity, not only level of elasticity is less, but it also stretches more than elastic wire. It will become into a wire shape due to heat, and then it will stretch for a long time until it becomes too thin, one atom thick wire, and who knows, then it will simply break at that moment, right?
You wouldn't be able to see
Yes,
it.
but there are some things which do not stretch that easily, like wood. Wood would rather, if you look at wood, you cannot stretch it, you can only break it, right? It gets, if you cannot stretch it, you can, if you try to, it won't stretch.
It would break.
It does have an elasticity because you can see that it is a kind of bouncy kind of thing. You can jump on it, and like we used to play in the ground with planks between two chairs, and when you are jumping on it, it just simply bounces you back. If it is one person,
like this.
think of it as 10%
It will
jumping,
break.
it would break, right?
Is
So every
elasticity the same thing as tension?
elasticity is the how much it stretch it will do.
So tension is the same thing too.
Yeah, tension is, yes, tension is elasticity, yes. Okay, for example, a rubber band can be stretched. Just a rubber band, obviously you know that if you remove these threads, the rubber band will come out. It is made out of 7 or 8 rubber bands all lined up together, covered with the threads. This is, don't you see, these are lines. Can you see these lines? Very thin lines. These are each a rubber band inside it. It's woven with thread, and that's why it stretches. Okay,
Threads too.
yes, threads do also. Some threads do more and some threads do less, so it is also very important for you to understand that much. uh, Rubber is a very elastic material. We all know, we all love our trampoline. How many of you have gone to Ocean Mall for bouncing?
Not me.
You have?
I'm not.
Yes, you have. Yes, you have.
I've
Don't you for don't do you remember we went with Mama one time on the top of the roof, and then you and Fussy went in, and there were so many sponges also.
Oh, that was arena. Okay, that thing.
That's
Okay,
so
okay, I get it.
trampoline, you were jumping on it. Okay, so they were saying that if you have 2 or 3 people around you on the trampoline and you jump, and at the same time they jump, you'll jump 10 times higher.
Did they really say that?
Yeah, it was shown in one of the videos I saw, and it's so fantastic because you will like nearly touch the roof. It is so high. It's just like bungee jumping that you did in
That might have been
yes,
it.
yeah. Metal wires also stretch and spring back into shape if the force are small. However, if the force is too large, the wire will go beyond its elastic limit and will be left permanently stretched. You know that spring, when you stretch it too much, spring,
It just stands
it
like.
does not, then it gets, once it is stretched, when you stretch it a little bit, it will go back to its own shape. Then you stretch it a little bit, it will go back. But if the limit is too much, if you stretch it too far,
just become
it will
straight.
just become straight and it will not go back to it. That means it has crossed its limit, elastic limit. No more can be stretched anymore. Okay, now we come to this part of the what these are the springs are very useful because when force are applied, they stretch and spring back into shape evenly. In the example shown below, the metal spring stretches 10 millimeter for every 1 newton of force added. The graph goes up evenly for 1 newton, 2 newton, 3 newton and 4 newton. If we add more than 4 newton, the spring is still stretch, but it does not follow the same pattern. So as you can see from the graph, see, this is in newton, this is in extension, how much the spring is stretching. Okay, so at 10 millimeter stretch and 1 newton, 1 newton force, then 10. So you make a graph in this way. 2 newton force, when you are applying 2 newton force, 20 centimeter, 20 millimeter stretch. 3 newton force, 30 millimeter stretch. 4 newton force, 40 millimeter stretch. After 4 newton, what happens is it gets permanently, it stretches more than 10 millimeter for each, for each 1 newton, 2 newton, 3 newton and 4 newton, it is only stretching 10 millimeters.
Yes,
But for after 4 newton, it
goes too high.
it simply
skips one
stretches
number.
more than its 10 millimeter limit, and
Double.
it doubly, yes, it stretches 60 millimeter, and then it cannot return to its original shape. That means that its elastic limit is 4 newton. If you apply for more than 4 newton, it will be permanently stretched and it will not go back to its own size. It will not go back. Like here, if you release the weight, it will go back to its size. Here, if you release its weight, it will go back to its size. But after this, it will not go back to its size after 4 newton. So what is Hooke's law?
This is
When you apply
the limit
pressure,
of, the
compression or pressure on anything, it will stretch that limit. But there is a limit to that. This is the Hooke's law, which we must all follow. That material extend evenly when stretched by force, provided the force is not too large. This is known as Hooke's law. You must follow that. This part of the this part is highlighted just because you need to memorize this law and you must know this law very
definition.
thoroughly. Yes, and you must memorize it. Test yourself. What is elasticity?
Elasticity is the
Forces that
like
cause
how
material
long
to
it can
stretch. Forces that cause material to stretch. Explain what elastic limit is.
Like a
When
spring won't.
when force is applied, a small force is applied, something stretches.
And
But
it goes
if
backwards,
the force is too strong, then it will stretch permanently and will not return to its size. That is the elastic limit of that
object.
material or object. Explain why rubber is good material for making elastic band. Because its
it
elasticity limit is too much high. So it does not stretch, it does not break easily if you apply force to it. And bicycle tire, because that is also made of plastic rubbery material, and it can stretch and have more air,
Okay, more air
hold more air. And when you are riding the bicycle, the pressure that your body is applying on the wheels will not burst that tire that easily, because it is tough material, tough at the same time and rubbery at the same time. Why are springs good force measurers? Sorry.
Because they are like wound up, so they stretch more.
They stretch and spring back into shape evenly. बराबर से स्ट्रेच करते हैं और बराबर से वापस चले जाते हैं अपनी.
So do the others.
I mean spring, like you can't use spring rubber band in play for as a force measurer, because it does not sometimes on a hot day it is affected by
Melts.
heat.
And it melts.
Rubber is affected, but wire is not that affected. You know that it does expand, but then it goes back to its original size
And
more.
it also does not break easily. And bands are thin.
And maybe they are made of a special material which does not contract and expand that much on a hot day. But rubber band is like, there is always a limit to rubber bands. Explain how you would use a spring, a ruler, some standard mass, and some graph paper to find the weight of an unknown object.
What?
A rubber, a ruler. See, this is a ruler.
Yeah.
This is an elastic band, rubber, you can say. Okay, and standard mass. You can tie this rubber band.
What's standard?
You can hold this straight like this and tie this over here in such a way that it is coming out from here like this. Okay, now you know that this if you have, see, you can do like this. What you do is you have this ruler with some rubber band or elastic band coming out over here. You measure how much it is. It is about 10. No, it is about 30. Let us do the wrong side. Let's see. This is 30 millimeter, 30 centimeter. So I have left it at 30 centimeter. If I tie something over here with a hook, it will and a weight attached to it. If it is a weight like this, it will start stretching, and you can measure how much. 10, 20 up to here it is 10 centimeter. But let us see, you can do this kind of experiment at home and see how far it stretches and what will be the weight of that object. Okay, in this way.
Like a force meter? Or Newton?
Yes, just like a force meter. It will work just like a force meter. Okay. A spring stretches by 10 centimeter when a force of 20 Newton is applied. When a force of 22 Newton is used, the spring is stretched by 11 centimeter. So,
But
20
shouldn't it be
Newton?
stretched by 21?
If you see 20 Newton stretches the spring by 10 centimeter. They are giving you examples. So
No, I'm saying
it's not a must. It
No,
depends.
when they're increasing, shouldn't it become like, so if 10 is 20, then why isn't
22 Newton is used. The spring is stretched by 11
why does it
centimeter.
stretch by?
Why? It should,
No,
because
why does it
more,
stretch by like
only 2 Newton has been increased.
shouldn't 2 centimeters then be increased too?
No, why?
Because
Everything has a different weight. See, it's just like you are having this and you are tying to this, and it was, when you tied, if its weight was 20 Newton and it was applied that 20 Newton force, then 10 centimeter खींचता है. But if you are having 22 Newton, इससे ज़्यादा इसी में ऐड कर दीजिए कोई और
okay,
heavy
now
weight.
I get it now.
अब ये ज़्यादा भारी हो गया. Now what you do is, when you stretch it, what will happen? it will stretch some more.
Okay.
पुराना weight तो वैसे ही है ना, समझ आ गई? Okay, so what would be the extension for force of 10 Newton? अगर 10 न्यूटन होगी
5.
तो क्या होगा? 10 न्यूटन हर 2 न्यूटन, देखिए 2 न्यूटन इंक्रीज हुआ तो 1 सेंटीमीटर इंक्रीज हुआ.
2 newtons 1 centimeter.
समझ आ रही है?
Okay.
तो आप कम करती जाइए, उल्टा कर जाइए. 10 न्यूटन में तो 2 कर कम हुए तो 5 सेंटीमीटर स्ट्रेच होगा. देखो अब इसको इस तरीके से भी कर सकते. यू कैन डू इट लाइक दिस. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10. Okay, if this is 10 11 12 13 14 15 16 17 18 19 20, for 20 Newton 10 centimeter rise, 10 centimeter stretch. Okay, so 10 centimeter stretch हो गए. तो हर 2 सेंटीमीटर पर 1 सेंटीमीटर स्ट्रेच हो रहा है. तो अगर हम 2 सेंटीमीटर लें, ये 1 स्ट्रेच हुआ. 2 सेंटीमीटर लें, 1 स्ट्रेच हुआ. ये 2 सेंटीमीटर लें, 1 स्ट्रेच. 2 सेंटीमीटर, 1 stretch. 2 centimeter, 1 stretch. So how many ones do you
so this is
get?
5.
1 2 3 4 5.
Okay.
That's halved.
That's it.
Simply, or you can, what you can do is you can take this value and divide it, this value and divide it by 2 simply.
Okay.
Okay.
So for this one,
1 Newton.
wouldn't the answer come in decimal?
Yes, the answer would be in decimals because it will only maybe move in millimeters
0.5.
approximately. You have to work it out. Okay, so you work it out. And 15 for the 3 of them, you will have to work them out. Okay, suggest what the extension of the spring might be if a force of 30 Newton was applied. If this is 20 10 Newton, 22 11 Newton, so every 2 degree 1 centimeter is increased. So if it is 22, if it is 24, it will be 12.
Okay.
26, it will be 13. 28,
Like 14.
yes. And
I had found.
30,
And 30 would be
14 है तो 30 पे क्या होगा?
it will be 16.
It will be 16 centimeter. Got it? Are you sure you got it?
Yes, yes.
Okay. Suggest what the extension of the spring would be. Okay, this again page is done. Okay, today we have to, this was all the previous work. This is this time's work. Okay, so I will give you some time to complete this, and this is for today only.